I see you.
Well, hello, everybody, neighbors. It looks like we do not have a quorum.
Yes, so we can't have a meeting.
So we can't have a meeting, but we can have a voting meeting. But if there's anything that anyone would like to talk about, we can take it.
Yes, I have a question. This question is to the solicitor.
Okay.
Well, we were supposed to vote on the budget this evening, and the budget must be voted on before the end of this year.
Yes.
And it looks like that's not going to happen. So what penalties, if any, is the borough looking at as a result of that? That's my first question. My second question, if you're being paid to do a job and you're not showing up to do your job and you're just simply not doing your job, but you're getting paid, what can we do about that?
And third,
Oh, breaking down. Sorry?
what is it possible that we can do a Zoom meeting to do the budget?
No.
You need a physical quorum.
You need a physical
We need one more
quorum.
person to come.
So
Without
that's,
a physical quorum, the other people to join and participate, but we need a physical quorum.
right.
Yeah. As far as the effect of not adopting a budget, I talked about that with the feast earlier today. Still researching it, but I haven't quite had that occasion. I will get back to you as soon as possible. That being said, because it is a reorganization, and obviously with that, then people will not get paid until there's a budget adopted. I have dealt with that a long, long time ago. But with that threat, then people came to a special meeting. That's kind of what I've seen happen in the past when that's come out. But I don't know the exact effect if that doesn't happen. But with reorganization, you always have the opportunity to do a new budget for February 15th. So you could, at reorganization, make a motion to advertise and do all of that. So that would be the solution there. But in the meantime, nobody other than critical workers are getting paid.
Right.
That would probably be what's going to come down. That's my recollection. But I'll get a more.
Well, the reorganization will take place January 2nd.
Right.
The budget doesn't take effect until January 1st.
Correct.
So technically,
It's going to take a little while to adopt a new budget. It's going to take about, 10 days? Please?
It's already set for 10 days.
Yeah.
So I guess if they adopt this budget that is proposed for this evening, could they do that on January 2nd?
Yeah.
Organization?
Oh, and would this process account for that?
right.
That I don't know. Okay, I'll
Is it
get
a
the answer. on that.
retroactive
Yeah.
situation?
What?
Is it going to be made, is it a situation where it's made retroactive? Like if we pass it on the 2nd,
Oh, yeah, if you pass it on the 2nd, you're ratifying it, if I'm not mistaken, for it to cover January 1st. Is that your question?
That's
Yeah, you could do that. Yes, you could definitely, you can make sure everyone gets paid retroactively and all that stuff.
So that way we don't need a special meeting necessarily. or
Well, the
should
borough
we?
code says you shall adopt the budget. So we should do everything we can to try to adopt the budget.
But we know that's not going to
Gonna happen,
happen.
right?
It's not going to happen.
in a lot of things that I've never seen before here.
So
We
I
talked
will,
about this weeks ago. We
Yeah.
knew that we weren't going to have a quorum tonight. We knew we weren't going to have a quorum in November, so I don't know why we didn't come up with a solution for this evening.
Did you receive
Calls from council members and from Jones Voice?
I reached out, no response. I emailed, called, and all three, Councilor Brooks, Councilor Harris, and Councilor Monroe said she was going to travel. She's available for a call, but I'm not going to call. We don't have a
Right. Well, Councilor Monroe advised the council that she was not going to be here 2 months ago. So we had advance notice.
And I think, Councilor Rowe-Cloud, the other residual question is if someone doesn't do their jobs for which they're being paid, and I think, to your point, you're saying at what point, like somebody, we can't take somebody out of office,
Do you mean elected officials?
But, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're getting,
Only the Pennsylvania Senate can remove an elected official after a quo warranto action by the Delaware County DA or the Attorney General.
And their resignation be asked Excuse me, isn't there something that people must call if you're not coming to a council meeting? I mean, do you not you just say, I'm not going to a council meeting?
And still getting paid tax dollars, that's raping the borough.
I'm not saying that's right, but I know of no provision under the law to remove an elected official for not doing their job or not showing up.
Not to
absent a
remove,
quo
but not
warranto.
to pay them our
You can't even
stipend.
You
Like,
can't,
almost
unfortunately, you can't because it's called I know too much about this, the emoluments clause of the Pennsylvania Constitution. Once somebody runs for office, the day they circulate their petitions, you can't lower that compensation by law. There's unfortunately case law related to that. Nothing to do with this. That meant, a new administration came in, they didn't like a particular elected official, so they tried to lower their salary. The court said no, but that applies to everybody. So, I wish I had better answers.
I was just a little confused because my employer, they had an employee that was a no-show for several days and no call, and they were still submitting to get paid, and they actually received payment, and my employer said that was stealing. So I thought it was kind of the same here.
Council is just so different.
Elected officials, unfortunately, are different. And that could very well be the case if, it was an appointed official, a borough employee or a fee or somebody like that, but not an elected official.
It's not stealing tax dollars.
Politically, that may be an argument, of course, but I don't think legally it's stealing tax dollars, no.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I don't think anybody's
So
saying
we
that.
can't vote to remove
You don't need to
tax,
stay.
we can't petition our,
There used to be a provision in the borough code where if you miss 3 consecutive council members, you remove.
Yeah.
That was
They should have
strict
left
it
it
down.
because of the court decision on the removals. About 20 years ago.
And that's the other thing for Mr. Kilkenny, we most certainly can have the CDBG hearing, because that has to be done by January 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
We can do that at
At
reorganization.
reorganization. Okay, so I'm going to re-advertise it.
So we're going to have to do some business
Yes.
during reorganization as well.
So you don't need them to report anything?
We don't, because that was pretty much the report from the engineer.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you for coming.
Have a good holiday, everybody.
you also.
Enjoy.
It is really, I just feel it is not fair. I don't care where you're from, to not show up, to not pick up a telephone and call to say that you were not going to be at a meeting. It basically wastes everybody's time, and I think it's very pointless. I can understand with Councilor Brooks, she has a situation that may take a minute.
She's been
But
seeing
this
that
other
as
stuff
far
is
as
that
I'm
just
sure.
not showing up, and I've never seen anything like this in my life. I really haven't.
My firm represents 35 municipalities. I don't think I've ever seen this.
This is why we're paying
Correct.
$1 million in insurance premiums.
correct.
Because of this dysfunction.
And the insurance carrier, for those who weren't here a little earlier, for the finance director's report, they looked at we were denied by 4 insurance carriers as uninsurable. And if it wasn't for our incumbent insurance carrier, we wouldn't be insured, but they stipulated we have to pay our premiums our deductible increased from 25,000 to 100,000. Our coverage decreased from 5 million to 1 million. And they looked at a lot of our council meetings and were very, very unimpressed. How we, just like this, when they look and see dereliction of duty, just not caring, and when we are here, we just totally fighting and throwing people out of meetings, including the mayor. They're very, and then we get these types of consequences that ensue because of it. So those who insure us say, you know, basically we're uninsurable because these things can happen again. So it's not good. And I've been here 42 years. I've never seen this happen like this.
So the insurance companies, basically, their bottom line is the dollar. So
Yes.
when you make poor decisions,
It costs us.
putting the borough at risk, that was the main reason we are uninsurable, because of poor decision-making.
Correct. Correct.
Started in
Right.
in February with Chachi, and it was just downhill
Escalated.
from there.
May I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Ms. Anna?
With the lawsuits, we know that several of them have not yet been settled. We're hoping for resolution in 2024. What could they potentially cost us in excess of what the insurance company would pay? Is there anyone that's able to answer that right now for us?
Makes sense?
Yeah. Counselor, correct me if I go too much. Or I could tell you generally that they always try to settle. The insurance company tries to settle with the plaintiff, and if there's a settlement, it's a closed and agreed upon settlement. If they don't settle, then it goes to court. And then if it goes to court, it's an open, like you've seen, like in some of these notorious settlements around the country, the jury, it's in the hands of a jury, and the jury can agree totally, partially, or even increase it, the judgment. So we're in uncharted territory, and it remains to be seen. If we can't settle and it goes to trial, it could be anything.
And Ms. Anna, because we're in a public forum, we can't say a number because we are trying to settle.
So if the insurance company would pay us up to an amount that they have allowed, if it's above that, then the borough somehow has to.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And while we're here, one other thing that I'm getting ready to work on, I'm sure everyone has seen the banners of veterans throughout many communities. I've been in touch with the Commonwealth in reference to that, to have some of Yeadon's veterans put on those flyers. It is banners. It will be revenue neutral. And they start at $149. The veterans or the veterans' families can pay that fee. And hopefully when Mr. Peets comes on board, he'll work with me on that. Good to go. Thank you.
Are those banners going to go on top of the other banners?
We only have, I think, 50 banners throughout the whole community, so they will not. And maybe they will, I don't know. It's something he and I will talk about.
We paid $10,000 for 50 banners?
We're not going to take them down.
We paid $10,000 for 50 banners?
Whatever the number was.
It was 10,000.
But we're not going to argue about it.
No, we're not.
I don't know exactly what the figure was, but they will be increased.
Now, I have a question, because I'm too crazy to get out of here. If you're not having a meeting, when are we going to try to reschedule the special meeting? So I can look at my calendar.
I'm thinking, is it okay, say the 27th or the 28th?
I'm only available on the 26th,
The
and
26th?
that's the day after Christmas, I don't know who wants to.
He's
do
talking
that.
about this,
For the special meeting.
27th, I'm not available.
Or the 28th?
28th, Liana, do you want to reschedule?
No, I don't.
Okay, so 28th, we're not available.
And I think Councilman Monroe was only available like on one day next week. And I
You know
think
which day that was?
she emailed it to us. I don't know why the 28th is sticking out of my head. But Council Roca, you said you weren't available at all next week,
I'll be in
right?
Delaware. so I can't.
Say that again?
Council Roca isn't available at all next week, she said.
I'm really not either. I have something planned every day.
So listen, you said the 28th is good for you, right, Councilman? No. Which
Yes.
day?
The 26th is the only day I don't have anything to do in the evening.
And President Johnson, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the evening. If you
Oh,
had,
okay.
if you had 4 people, I've been in breakfast meeting, budget adoptions before. That works for people. I've brought bagels to budget meetings at 7:30 in the morning, I've done that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It just needs to be advertised for that time.
Does anyone have a problem with an early afternoon meeting? On any of those days
I'm not available.
at all?
No.
So I don't know, listen, this is the thing. We cannot depend on Counselor Harris. We cannot depend on Counselor Jones. I don't believe Counselor Brooks would be here. Now, she might try. What are we going to do here?
well,
Thing I can recommend to you at this point is, and we have to rely on our solicitor to do the research about adopting the budget on January 2nd at the reorganization meeting.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like that's
Even
gonna be the
if-
only.
Even if we have because we know people are available January 2nd, so that it doesn't,
Right.
well, you'll be a council, sure. I'll-
So the question is, do we have to go
We don't have to
through,
have it before.
do we have to go through the whole process again?
That's the question.
That's the question. I don't know that, but I know your question is.
So, excuse me. Now, I'm looking at the email you referenced from Councilor Monroe, and she says here, it's a friendly reminder that she's unavailable from December 16th through the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay. So, of course, today's the 21st, so she was unavailable through the 23rd, so I'm
Well, any
assuming.
day that the two of you want to
And Councilor Beatty, it looked like, unless your agenda changed, you said you were unavailable from December 22nd through January 1st.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I had plans already. So the 26th would only be, I mean, I can come in the evening on the 20th, I have something to do in the day. But the 26th is the only evening I will be available.
So that's still only 3 people.
Well, no,
No,
I stand corrected.
Latoya will be here.
I mean,
Let's do the
Would you want me
26th
to
at
call
7.
her?
Call her, please.
yeah, you're gonna have to find.
We just don't want to
Right.
impose on someone else's holiday like that.
Because I will be traveling after January.
Of course.
We may need to reconsider our legislative meetings for December to another, because doing it this close to.
You mean change the third
Christmas,
Thursday?
I mean, because it's always going to be an issue.
Unless we do the
So-
budget.
I was gonna
But
say,
we might do budget in November.
yeah, I've had experience in some towns that I'm in where the first reading is in October, and then the final adoption is in November. That's
Yeah,
ideal.
that's what needs
So
to
we
happen,
can-
because every
Yeah, 'cause
year,
it's too
we
close.
went through this last year.
We sure did.
The past 2 years have been haywire.
Oh, you remember that one year, Councilor Johnson?
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, we were on? for a
New
budget.
Year's Eve? Oh, no. Yeah, but never.
Well, it was a 3 o'clock meeting. It was a 3 o'clock meeting. We got,
Oh, 3 o'clock, okay. Not New Year's Eve evening. Okay.
you weren't on council.
Wasn't on council.
December 26th, do we have a time? I'm texting her, she didn't answer.
Yeah, I don't know, where
Sorry, what
She
time?
might be in
The 26th at 7.
That's 7.
Yeah, she might be on the beach.
She's on the West Coast.
Oh, West Coast, okay, so it's
7
his, for,
I wouldn't want to do that at 7 o'clock. You want to do it at 7?
huh?
Because
What do you think?
You would want to do the special meeting at 7? On the 26th?
26th? No, it doesn't have to be at 7. But I have something to do that afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So I want to, realistically, I may be finishing what I have to do like at 5, like, 'cause I
So
have plans already.
5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 could be.
Okay, 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 might be good. I mean, I'm off, I'm on winter break starting tomorrow, but every day I got.
You have something to do?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I do, I mean, tomorrow I'm not even gonna be in St. House. If we could have changed it and moved this on to last week.
But, you know, I mean, realistically, it shouldn't happen. I mean, it's 7 counselors. This should never happen.
Just because one person.
It's 7 counselors, right,
Had the option to be.
right.
And I'm gonna say something real quick. Sharon Council Harris never needs to be up here ever again. If you people ever elect her again. And yeah, something wrong with you. She don't, and Talia Jones Waters too. She don't need to be reelected either. Like, this needs to be their last time running for council and last time serving this community, because obviously it was never about the community in the first place.
And I echoed that, in that we could agree to disagree up here, but when you totally shirk your responsibilities because you lose an election and you're not, or whatever, or even before that, then the Monday meetings, so-called workshop meeting, never worked the last time.
Never.
It didn't work the last time. It's not in the best interest of the community. Most people, it conflicts with a lot of other established dates in the community, the school, back to school nights. It didn't work. And then she got elected again and forced it down their throats that it's going to, and it still didn't work. And not only that, her own team abandoned the meetings. They didn't come, not when they lost the election, before that they didn't come. So she couldn't get her own team to come at a forced meeting that wasn't convenient to the public and forcing it down their throats. And then when all this, now they're all abandoned. It's ridiculous, and it's an affront to the community and the residents, and it should never be. And I agree with Councilor Beatty, it starts with us, the voters. Come on, man. You see what's going on. It's not about agreeing or disagree. You can't do the job, or it's based upon a personal basis, vendetta, autocracy, like what we're talking about nationally. That's what it's based upon.
Councilor Monroe.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Councilor Monroe has confirmed her availability for the 26th at 5:30.
Okay.
Okay.
So at least we can agree that's a good day.
Before we leave, when, you know, they changed when you're absent for 3 meetings.
Yep.
Can you write a letter to whomever that came?
We need to get that changed.
Talking about the situation that we're having here in Yeadon Borough where council persons, members are not showing up, no phone call, nothing.
Yeah, unless it's an excuse,
They
unless
need
they
to
have an
find out
excuse.
what can be done, so they need to change it back.
The 26th is the day after Christmas.
I would recommend.
I mean, I don't wanna do it today, but that's
We
typically
need-
a day that I don't do anything, because I'm usually exhausted the day after, but I have to go get my car serviced. That's the only thing I'm doing that day.
I would recommend we would write a letter to our state rep and state senator.
Yeah.
Because they would be the people who would have to begin the process to amend the borough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think some accountability needs to.
Or, well, it'd have to be somebody else.
Okay, all right. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
26th, if you can come back tomorrow, next Tuesday, we'll be here.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand. Sure.
The holiday crash schedule, does anybody know it or have it?
The holiday trash schedule?
It will be posted by morning. I think it's already posted, but I'll double check. If not, I will make sure that it's posted.
Let's